Hey, all you Arizona lovers. This is the Fighting Arizona podcast. This is a special live event recording over at 602 Day. We want to say thank you to everyone who participated, not only in the recordings, but also who participated at the actual event. We are so excited to share this. This is a wonderful, eclectic, interesting, a vibrant look at all the people around 602 and sharing what their community is about. We needed this to share with you, to show off everything that we've been trying to demonstrate within our podcast, but also within other podcasts as well. You'll actually see myself and another podcaster by the name of Eric Walters. He's a part of Taste of AZ podcast. I hope you guys will go check him out. He's a good friend of mine and a good friend of ours. So stay connected with everyone through the links in the bios below. Also, go check us out at fightingarizonapodcast.com. Also, if you want to send us a line at fightingarizonapodcast@gmail.com, we'll get connected with you and share with you everything that we have to offer. On top of which, if you want to stay connected through social media, Fighting Arizona Podcast at everything social media wise. So that being said, I just want to say again a true thank you to everyone who's been a part of this episode. It was very fun to edit and put together. What you're also going to see is a little bit of a different intro into this because we have a connection and sharing this with Taste of AZ podcast. We're going to bring in their little bit of intro and then it'll kick right into the podcast episode. Just so you know what's going on, and we want to share that with all of you. We just want to be very standard, but also share off what's new and what's going to happen. You'll see a little commercial from them in the middle of this as well. But all in all, we love working together with other podcasts to share cool events like this, but also we want to share what we have to offer on our end and be a participant and share and cheerlead with everyone. So let's just jump right into this episode. Episode is a special live event look at 602 Day. We will see you next time. Bye, y'all.
Welcome to a Taste of AZ podcast, where we interview everyone from James Beard award-winning chefs to local mixologists, winemakers, breweries, and so much more. We've got an awesome episode lined up for you today. But before we get into that, head to atasteofaz.com so you can subscribe to our quarterly magazine and email newsletter to find all of the best places to eat and drink around town. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Now let's get into the episode.
Callie.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Callie's favorite artist is on right now. Who is this? Cyndi Lauper.
I would not have known that.
I know, I was just teasing you. You have your Beatles shirt on today. A lot of people gave your comments on your Beatles shirt. You have good taste in music. You follow in the footsteps of your dad.
You don't like the Beatles.
You what?
You never liked the Beatles.
But you have taste in good music.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Did I have taste in good music too? Good taste in music? Okay, we are here at 602 Day at Phoenix Beer Co. We've got a lot of really, really cool things set up. We got Burning Buddha. We've got B&G hot dogs. The music is blasting, hopefully not too loud for the podcast, but it's pretty dang close. So, Callie, you excited to be here? Handing out magazines with us? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think your favorite thing you've seen so far is?
That guy playing the music.
Because?
I like music.
Because you like music, and he has vinyls.
Yeah.
Actual vinyls, which you love vinyls. I love it. All right, cool. Well, we're going to get some guests on here today at some point. And let's do this, Callie. All right. All right, I have my daughter doing my bingo. I can't miss out on that, right?
No. What if they call your numbers and you get a bingo?
Exactly. It just started. So, well, I've got another guest here. Let's get you a little closer to the microphone. Can you hear yourself?
Yes.
There you go.
Unfortunately. It's always people's worst, cringiest thing, you know?
It never really bothered me. I don't know why. I don't know what that says about my ego or whatever, but...
you have a great voice. That's probably it. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for doing what you guys do.
Of course.
And who are you? And what do you do?
Yeah, my name is Ashley Patton, and I'm the Deputy Communications Director with the City of Phoenix.
Nice. Excellent. So the City of Phoenix is making this official.
That's right.
602 Day.
Yes. This is our first official 602 Day on June 2nd.
How does this idea come up? Like, is there somebody in the meeting that's like, hey, let's do this? Was
That
that
is-
you?
That is a great question. No, there was a team of folks that noticed that other cities have been celebrating their area code day,
Yeah.
and we thought, oh my gosh, we should follow in their footsteps, and we should have a 602 day to acknowledge our largest and most historically significant area code.
I dig it. So, how do you, I guess Tony, shout out to Tony from Local Buzz. I'm like, how do you put all this stuff together?
Oh, he did an incredible job. And us at the city, we didn't really know. We were like very hopeful, of course, that the community would rally behind this idea of 602 Day. And then an example like Local Buzz to bring dozens of vendors together to celebrate is just incredible. But really, we had over 100 different organizations sign up to participate in 602 Day. So some of them are doing $6.02 deals or discounts. Others doing discounted admission. Others are hosting events like this.
I dig it.
So we see things from all across local mom and pop shops to some of those local iconic institutions, those larger arts and culture attractions, our sports teams, the Diamondbacks and the Rattlers are both involved. So we've had an overwhelming amount of support.
Yeah, and just being the first year. So next year,
we can only go up from here.
Yeah.
Exactly. Bigger
I
and
love
better.
It.
Yeah.
I love it. So for you personally, how do you use 602?
Oh my gosh. I was born and raised in Phoenix.
Okay,
so
nice.
we're rare. We do exist, but I'm from Phoenix. So I definitely love my hometown and 602 in that way. Love the local businesses here. I mean, we have such an incredible opportunity to showcase our arts and culture and what a foodie destination we are through 602 Day. Many people don't realize that. We know it. Once you live here, you know it.
Yeah.
But it's a great opportunity to showcase all the beautiful things.
I agree. So with it being, this is a food and beverage podcast, right?
Yeah.
So are there any 602 restaurants or breweries or whatever that you like to go to or your favorites?
Yeah, we have, and I'll also acknowledge ones that are participating in 602 days
please.
too, so it's kind of a twofer. We have, of course, Phoenix Beer Co. is signing up and offering not only this huge event, but their own specials and deals. Arizona Wilderness is participating in downtown Phoenix, so their location there will be offering $6.02 specials. Greenwood Brewery, so and the city actually worked with them on their building because it is also a historic building to the city. They're participating in the campaign, and I'm a huge fan personally of them. First woman-owned brewery as well. So there's them participating. Pedal Haas is participating. So gosh, there's just so many breweries. Who else did I see? There's so many breweries. Barcoa is participating in downtown Phoenix as well.
David's,
yes, you got the excellent cocktails as well as the great space there. There's so many. Gosh, this morning we were on Grand Avenue, and there was also their community is very much engaged, and their merchant association is engaged, and so we had multiple businesses along Grand Ave participating. So Phoenix is the 5th largest city. We have all the way from Anthem to Ahwatukee, and so other way around, I guess, Anthem to Ahwatukee. Yes, and all the way as far as 107th Avenue to 56th Street. So we have so many great food and beverage options all throughout, many of which are participating in 602 Day.
Well, thank you, all of you who are participating.
Yeah.
And once again, City of Phoenix, thank you for putting this together. And I'm excited for the future of this.
Oh gosh, we are too. And it just so happens that our area code 602 June 2nd corresponds to kind of the beginning of summer. And for many local businesses, that's their slower season. So it's incredible that that happens to coincide, and we can kick off the summer in a positive way and really fuse some energy and some community pride to rally behind those local businesses in what might be their slower season otherwise.
Sure. I like it. Yeah, because there's always like, there's 4th of July, and there's all these things, but June, and that's one of the things Tony said was like, there's not really anything in this space until now.
Yes, and of course that just happens to be how it worked out. You know, we didn't choose the area code. It was established back in 1947, but it times out pretty perfectly from an economic development perspective as well.
What year did you say?
1947.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and for many years it was the only area code in the entire state. And then 480 came in and kind of split the state. And now, of course, we have 623 as part of Phoenix as well. And we love all of our area codes, but 602 is our most historically significant, our longest standing.
It's a little special. Sorry, other guys, but well, awesome. Well, thank you for joining.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And
thank you for all that you do for the 602.
I mean, eating and drinking, I can handle that.
You can't complain, right? Right? You got a good gig.
For sure. Well, thank you once again.
Yes, thank you so much.
Have fun.
Raise this up.
Somebody
tighten that up. Tighten that up a lot. There we go. Awesome.
All right, we're rolling. And normally I don't like people touching my equipment, but you know more than I do about
Well,
equipment.
thank you. I'm
Just
glad. Hey, I hear you, man. I understand. I'd say the same thing most time.
No, I knew when you were adjusting, we were getting it to your level. I'm like, this guy knows what he's talking
Awesome.
about. But I have that He-Man strength that I tightened it up a little too much. Yeah.
That's all right though.
Well,
It's sturdy, so
Yeah.
it can handle it.
Well, you know, one of the things about these two, and I think only people who mess with this stuff get it, you can sometimes tighten it as much as you can, and it's still going to slide down and drop down.
You can also break them. So
Yeah, for
I've
sure.
had several people break my equipment. I was going like, I'll just handle that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, dude, thanks for jumping on the microphone.
Awesome.
Well, I mean,
Glad for having me.
Not a first for you. You're apt at getting on the microphones,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What's your name and what do you do?
So most people know me as Stone. You can follow me at Stone on Sax or at Get Ready Entertainment. Get Ready Entertainment is my actual brand, but
Nice.
I also work with a number of different artists. Currently booking at Greenwood Brewing
Oh, nice.
on a regular
Okay.
basis,
Yeah.
and then have been the president of the Roosevelt Roast CDC Artist Advisory Council.
Nice.
And so I've been engaged in the community, but always looking for opportunities to collaborate with different artists. That's one of the things I really love about 602 is that, you know, coming from the Midwest, coming out here to Arizona really kind of helped introduce me and reawaken the musician within. I attended at the Phoenix Center of the Arts and Infuse open mic, met one young artist, and that opened my door to a number of artists within the community. And so that's what I really love about the creative spirit from a musical background, painting, doesn't matter. So I just had a show this last week with a person who's a fine artist. She does some great fine artworks, but she's also a marionette creator and she puts on marionette shows. So
Wow.
that was awesome to be a part of that.
Dang, man. So you love just that creative.
I
the
love creative energy. I
Yeah.
feed off of people. I feed off of other creative people's energy. And so
dig
having
it.
that around me just helps me feel alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it, man. Well, so where in the Midwest? I grew up in the Midwest too.
So I'm actually from Wisconsin.
Okay.
Originally from Racine, lived in Milwaukee a little while, lived in Madison, the last trek. And then I went to California for a short time and then
Okay.
ended up back here because I work in education. So oftentimes I'm working in a variety of schools. So I had a research grant that we were working here in Phoenix and San Antonio, Texas, called Families in Schools Together. So we work
Okay.
to empower parents and connect parents with other parents, but also help them really build relationships with the teachers and community resources in order that their children can be more successful in that environment.
Man, you're into lots of stuff.
A lot
Stone.
of
I like it.
and that's just the start of it. So my hope is to continue to expand. Part of what I love to do is try to create productions. I'm working on developing a show that I like to have. So be looking out for that, for the dream sequence of what it's called. So nobody steal that idea.
Yeah.
But anyway,
We'll beat that out. Yeah.
yeah. But it's something that I've really been looking forward to because we all have a dream. And that's really the message of that show is that regardless of how old you are, never let go of your dream.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. I mean, I was 38 when, I've been searching, what am I meant to do? Where do I want to go? And, in my 20s, I had 25 plus jobs and doing all these things. And
Right.
then at 38, it finally was like, oh, I'm starting to gain some momentum. I'm trying to figure some things out, doing some podcasting, publishing a magazine, doing stuff around food and beverage. But I was at 38, and I just kept going.
Well,
Just go-
that's awesome. I'm at 56 and I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do when I grow
Yeah.
up. So, I have some ideas of what my interests are, but you get exposed to a number of different things. And that's what I feel even for young people. Having exposure to different things is what at least creates a platform for you to say, maybe I like this, but the lack of exposure makes it very difficult for you to kind of figure out what your passion and interest is. So, as I can, I can thank my mother for at a young age taking us to museums and taking us to parks and different things, different experiences, from the Renaissance Fair to, going to, like I said, a number of different museums and just experiencing and being exposed to different music and so forth. And that just led me to want to be a part of that.
I did that.
Most people look at me and think, oh, hey, he probably just because I'm a saxophone player. So people assume jazz, but I do everything from opera to country to funk to, various classical style of music, classic rock. So we hope to embrace a number of different. I have a band that's called Eretz Agape that stands for the land of love, or the beginning of love. And then we also have another band called Just Common 7, which is centered around really embracing diversity. And the mission is I embrace a number of different artists to come together in order that one day we might see that diversity is just common. That's the
Nice, man. Well, keep up the good work, Stone.
Well, hey, I hope to expand and continue to connect with more people.
Absolutely.
Might be connecting with you sometimes. Feel free to reach out again. Again, Instagram is at Stone on Sax for my personal, or at Get Ready Entertainment. You'll learn about different opportunities or ways that or avenues that I might be pursuing to offer other artists opportunities to perform on various platforms.
I love it, man. Well, I got to ask you, how do you 602?
How do I 602? By doing what we're doing right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Interacting with different people. I think that's the best way to 602 is to demonstrate collaboration, partnership by building relationships one person at a time.
I dig it, man. I dig it. Stone, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, you too, man.
Take care. Thanks.
We're here back at 602 Day, and we're interviewing local entrepreneurs, local peeps. And why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Tariq Sabor.
Tariq?
From
welcome.
Fine Art for Bodies.
Yes. Welcome. So, Tariq, what we're trying to do here today is trying to get interviews about people around the Valley, trying to tell us stories about who they are and what they're passionate about and what they enjoy doing. But on top of that, I want to hear why 602 is great to you, or what you find great about 602.
Awesome. That's a good question. I moved here when I was a teenager from New York. And one thing I can definitely say, having lived all over the world, multiple countries, and so forth, is that Phoenix is a really good place to start. I got my start here, and it makes me laugh every time I realize this. It's like a new realization. I've been tattooing in the Valley for 22 years.
Wow.
And don't get me wrong, like I'm very, very good at what I do.
Yeah.
But knowing how I was able to start here and the welcome that I received from the community, from the clientele, from the arts community, and some of the OG artists that have been working and producing and had names in this Valley for 20 and 30 years before I came on, they welcomed me. And I know for a fact if I had started in New York like that,
it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, you don't start if you don't start
it's
well.
It's a jungle out there,
It's a jungle, and everyone's hustling super hard. So if you're not hustling super hard, then you're not going to make it.
Well, Tariq, I really do appreciate you being on the show here, and this is just like a really live interview right now. You can tell there's like
we're live on air?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize
we're recording.
We're
recording. I meant like more like a live production going on.
You're gonna edit this later.
Absolutely. I'm actually the editor for this podcast.
Okay.
So woo. So
you can keep the funny stuff in, but if I look really goofy, just chop that out.
You're good, man. So okay. You're a tattoo artist. I imagine you're a bit of an art lover as well. Just really quick. What do you find beautiful most? Like, what catches your eye here in the Valley?
Here in the
Valley. That inspires you?
I would say the people, honestly.
Okay.
Like, I'm a people person, and I like people. And while it's easy to fall into different communities that are, really cliquish and cutthroat and weird and snobby or whatever, I found that, the downtown Phoenix arts community is just really, really good people.
Awesome.
A lot of good people, a lot of good vibes. I find a lot of really cool spiritualism out here too. A lot of people are really in touch with their energy and what they're putting out there.
I love it.
And that really vibes with me and what I do. So
that's definitely my wife. She's gotten into that, really getting in touch with her inner self and really spiritual. Yeah. So I really do. I can attest to that as well. Okay, Tariq, we only have a few minutes with everyone, but I want to give you the chance to promote yourself. Give a shout out to all your social media handles where people can find you online. Go right ahead. The floor is yours.
All right. Well, I'm Tariq Sabor from Fine Art for Bodies. You can find Fine Art for Bodies anywhere online, all the social media, etc. And if you want to dig further, you can find me too. But I do a lot of things besides tattoos. So
I get it. You're a man of many talents.
I'm the Renaissance man.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Tariq. I appreciate it. You have fun at 602 Day, all right?
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Have a great one.
All right. Can
welcome to 602 Day.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Hector. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're here at 602 Day. It's going down here at Phoenix Beer Co.
Yes.
I want to give you a chance to really tell everyone about Tacos Don Hector.
Okay, so we are a food truck. We are on 12th Avenue and Grand.
Okay.
We're right across the street from the Grand Avenue Brewery.
Nice.
Shout out to John over there.
Nice.
We were in a parking lot 7-8 weeks ago on 83rd Avenue and Camelback. We started in a parking lot. We were in a very busy place. It took us a while to get very well clientele there, and Shout out to all my clients over there. We miss you guys.
That's my neck of the woods, by the way. Peoria.
We're on
75th and Peoria.
Okay, yeah, you went too far.
Yeah.
And we were at a point where we were finally very well clientele. We were busy every day. We were there. But the weather started to change. It started to get hot.
Yeah.
We knew that we had to do something to get a place where we can control the weather a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was hot. And we were in a pavement. We were in a parking lot. And we were in a small place.
Yeah.
My wife and I used to spend 3 hours in the morning to set up, and then 10, 12 hours of service.
Woo!
And then 3 hours to pick up at night.
Yeah.
We worked 18-hour days for a very long time.
Dang.
And, I mean, we would wake up at 5 in the morning, and we weren't getting home till 11, 12 o'clock every day.
Yeah.
So I made over 150 phone calls looking for a place. For some reason, landlords and owners don't want anything to do with food trucks. It's so hard.
Yeah,
and,
it's hard. It's tough.
It's hard to get a place where you can be and you can stay. And I started to understand why food trucks struggle with finding a place or finding an area to stay in.
Yeah.
So after 150 phone calls, finally, after a bunch of no's, I got my one yes.
It just takes one.
It takes one yes.
It just takes one.
The owner of the property, I reached out to her. She put the property on a platform to lease it, basically.
Yeah.
And I reached out to her, but after 150 explanations of, hey, this is my vision, this is what I do, this is what my plan is, I told my wife, I'm done selling myself. You know, I sent her a simple email that said, hey, I would love to put my food truck in your patio. Call me. The next day, she called me at 9 in the morning. We talked for about 4 hours. She said, go look at the property. I went, I looked at the property. I called her. I said, hey, we love the property. This is what we can do. This is the terms that we can do.
Yeah.
She said, I'm going to call my brother and my son-in-law, and I'll call you tomorrow.
Sweet.
They went on our Instagram instantly, right away.
Yeah.
They saw our story. They saw what we were about. They saw what we had been doing and what our vision was. And she called me 30 minutes later.
Nice.
And she said, the place is yours. Do what you want with it. And we did what we could with what we had.
Yeah.
And all honestly, we couldn't afford to move there, but we had to jump on the opportunity. There's obviously a bunch of expenses that we didn't expect, fixing the property. Always happens. But we figured it out. We did it. We jumped on it. And we're here now. I mean, on 83rd and Camelback, we probably would have never found out about these events. And
absolutely.
And
it's local.
So location really matters and where you're at and who you're surrounded with.
Absolutely.
Tony right here, he helped us out a lot.
Yeah.
The first day that I had to set up, he
showed up?
He showed up at midnight.
I knew it.
It was like 11 o'clock, bro.
Oh my God.
It was like 11 o'clock. We were tired, bro. We had been setting up since 9 in the morning. Because we closed on 83rd and Camelback on a Thursday was our last day.
Yeah.
So we closed Friday. And then we closed Friday to set up this place so that we can start again Saturday because it was my birthday.
Okay.
So literally we did everything in one day. We moved the food truck. We did everything. We set up tents. We set up the tables, chairs, set up the whole property, patio furniture.
Nice.
I mean, we didn't have any money for patio furniture. Patio furniture is expensive.
Yeah.
So we went to yard sales. And if people follow me on Instagram, they know that I'm very transparent with what we're doing and how hard it is to be a business owner. We're hustling. And we show the good, the bad, and the ugly, in reality. When a lot of people don't show the ugly, and we show all the ugly, and it gets ugly. It gets real ugly,
I mean, so I'll be honest with you. My dad, for a period of time when we were living on the reservation, he had a food truck himself. And I'm his prep cook.
There you go.
He had two sons, both teenagers at the time.
Exactly.
He had two prep cooks, and two workers.
It's hard, and it was just me and my wife. We have another girl that helps us, but she helps us only part-time.
Yeah.
Obviously, because of the overhead, we can't pay her
Yeah.
that many hours right now. So we went to a yard sale, and the lady had some patio furniture. I told her what I was doing. I said, hey, man, I don't have that much money. I can't really afford none of this. We told her what we were doing. We showed her the patio.
You give me the stuff.
Yeah.
I give you some food.
She saw what we were doing, and she told her husband, Viejo, bring the furniture from the backyard. And she gave me all her patio furniture from her own backyard.
Aww.
I paid $120 for all of it.
Get out of
so
here.
all the furniture you see in my place,
Yeah.
I paid $120 for all of it. We did what we could. we did what we could at the time, and it came out great. And people love it. People, the moment we started there, the whole area just completely took us in. First of all, they fell in love with what we did with the property.
Yeah.
Second of all, they fell in love with us as people, me and my wife.
Yeah.
And then third of all, they fell in love with our food. So
I love it.
We're there
Great
now,
story.
12th Avenue and Grand. It's a crazy story. It's a very long story.
I'm definitely gonna come and visit you.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually up the street on 15th Avenue in Indian School.
There you go. Yeah.
And so I'm gonna definitely come down that way because my son goes to school down that way.
Yes,
and
exactly.
So I'm gonna definitely go check you guys out.
Check us out.
Give you some love.
We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Awesome. Perfect.
Great food, great atmosphere. I know it's hot, but I have misters, I have coolers.
There you go.
I think as a consumer. So I want to make sure it's as comfortable as possible.
Absolutely.
And it's crazy because people come out. People come out no matter if it's hot outside because we keep it cool for them and we keep it comfortable.
Well, I appreciate everything that you're doing. I have no doubt that you're going to do great things with what you got. And keep it up, man. That hustle is going to go a long way. And like you said, you show the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah. And it's going to be tenfold of people coming to you because the honesty, the truth, what you're about, it shows. It bleeds through. And that's what I'm so happy that you said that because, again, we're celebrating 602 Day.
Yes.
And what people love about the area, it's the truth. You're the truth,
exactly.
man. I appreciate it. So we only got a little time with everyone.
Yeah.
Now's your chance to tell everyone where they can find you online, where they can find you social media-wise.
Yes.
The floor is yours, Hector.
All right. We're on 12th Avenue and Grand. We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. All of them are Tacos on Hector. And we are about to launch our app and our website as well.
All right.
We have our own app and our website. Some people have already downloaded it because I made a video about it. But Tacos on Hector, look for us, find us, Google. If you guys come out, leave us a review. And
Great job, Hector.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
You got to talk close to the microphone, all right?
All right, we can do this.
Yes, welcome to 602 Day, Rico.
All right, thank you for having me.
I
love
appreciate you. I appreciate you. So I'm going to let you have the floor. Let everyone know what you're about and what you're doing here today.
Yeah, of course. My name is Rico Lavender at 602 Day here in Phoenix. I'm a co-owner of Soundy.
Yes.
And so it's a brand new business. It's music for business, basically. We're in cafes, restaurants, hotels, and we kind of solve two problems that we're finding is one, a lot of businesses or some businesses are starting to get fined if they're playing Spotify music or Apple Music just from their personal playlist.
Got it.
And it's something that they're not really getting warned about, and the fines are hefty.
Yep.
And so we've partnered with Soundtrack Your Brand, or affiliate of Soundtrack Your Brand, based out of Sweden, actually.
Nice.
Who's partnered and has the extensive library from Spotify.
Okay.
And we come in and basically set you up with that. And then the other problem that we're solving is kind of in-store ads. And so how do you promote something that's going on in your store? How do you promote a new menu item, an event that you're throwing? Well, we solve that by creating custom voice messages.
Oh, cool.
And also we allow, and we record testimonials from patrons that are often that come to your shop.
Love
it. And so, we do a lot of that and solve that. And so
I love that because I'll tell you what, as a podcaster who collects stories, those are some of the best things that I love to highlight, and especially when it comes to my social media, is those personal touch stories where you're talking to the actual patron and getting those personal one-to-one stories.
Right.
Because they're so important. They're so vital to what people want to hear and want to experience.
Exactly.
It's just super cool to see that there's a place where people, like an owner, can go to and really get the catered experience to share those stories as well.
Right.
And so I am asking everyone what they find most enjoyable about 602 and where they live and grow up here and where they're coming from. What's been the best experience, especially as a business owner?
Yeah, of course. I've been in Phoenix for over 15 years now.
Okay.
I actually moved away and then knew I made a mistake, and so I came back. And the weather is amazing here. But downtown Phoenix, I've been living in downtown proper for over 10 years now, and I love it. I've seen the growth.
Nice.
And so I've seen all the businesses come in I've seen the community help each other out.
Yeah.
I've been to events like this, and that's what I really like about this is nobody's trying to be in it for themselves. Everybody's out here to help.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that you feel the community here in Phoenix. It's a big city, but it also doesn't feel like a big city. You kind of see familiar faces.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love that. And I work remote, and I'm in cafes and in places a lot, which is another reason
it's
why.
It's a good promotional tool.
It's another promotional tool. But yeah, and so I see a lot of the faces. I know a lot of the owners downtown, and I just I love it. They're friendly and whatnot, and so how can you not love this community and be a part of it? So 602 Day is just it just shows how many people are excited about living here and showcasing these businesses. I feel like everybody's a friend. It's not like.
That's what I hope to get and experience from everyone. And I really do appreciate what you're about and who you represent. And it just means a lot from a fellow podcaster to a business owner like you.
Yeah, of course,
Truly continue what you're doing. I have no doubt you guys are going to do great things. We only have a short time with everyone because we're trying to gather as many stories as we can. Yeah. But I give you a chance to promote yourself, where people can find you online, your social media handles. Take it away. The floor is yours, Rico.
Definitely. You can find us on Instagram at Get Soundy. That's GETSOUNDIE. You can also find us on the web at www.com or www.soundy.com. And definitely follow us. We're brand new, just starting, looking for people to just kind of say hi and talk to us.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, thank you very much, Rico.
All right, appreciate it. All right.
A real quick reminder, head over to atasteofaz.com and subscribe to our email newsletter. Also, subscribe to A Taste of AZ magazine and get it shipped right to your door. Now let's get back into today's episode.
Welcome back to 602 Day.
Hey guys.
We're here with Nat the Brat. Well, thank you so much for giving me a little bit of your time. I know you're a little bit busy doing your selling thing.
Running around.
So today we're celebrating 602 Day, and you have been a big highlight of my day because I've been meaning to talk to you, to get to know you a little bit better. We've come across each other, and like I've been experiencing through all of my conversations, Phoenix and the Valley in general is a cool place because it's big, but it's also kind of a small world experience.
Everyone kind of knows each other.
Yeah, everyone kind of knows each other. So I would love to get your perspective of what's great to you about being not only a business owner, but just someone who lives in the 602 area.
Well, the reason why I wanted to be a small business owner, not only am I a small business owner, but my dad also has a window tint shop here in Phoenix.
Nice.
I'm 26 years old. My dad's been there for 32 years.
Wow.
In that same corner. He started off in a little corner where it was just a little tent, and now he made it in the corner of 27th and Van Buren, a big old shop, and he's been there since I've been young. So I go help him out all the time. So my main concern was to focus on small businesses and give back to them. So when I do my influencing, I make sure I focus on small businesses, people that were born here, local, a bunch of family-oriented stuff. That's what I really look into. So my business was another part, and my parents helped me out with that too.
An extension of what you do today.
We all do,
I love that. And it's really great to get to know your little bit of your family side as well, because I'm a big proponent in learning the history of the individual, the person that I talk to. And because I like to share a little bit about myself. I grew up on an Indian reservation up north, and I came down here for college, and I just never left.
Wow.
Yeah, so now being a podcaster, I get to share my history, and I get to share my family. Yeah, so it's really cool. Again, this is just a personal thing for me because I love what you do as an influencer. Does your dad and your mom get to experience and see what you do, and do they say anything at all?
It's very funny. My parents are actually very introverted. They don't really go out
Totally
much.
fine.
I'm like that too, but since I like to jump into the light sometimes. I just back and forth, but not as much as my parents. They support my stuff all social media wise. They know what I'm doing all the time. They help me out, set up with my events and stuff. But when it comes out here socializing with people, it's not their cup of tea. Sometimes when I do like First Fridays and stuff like that, where it's more open for them, because it's also downtown with them in their shop. When they close up, they'll pull up to come and say hi.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, thank you again for giving me a little bit of your time. I hope that we can get you on Finding Arizona podcast and get a little bit more about you. But I give everyone the opportunity to not only share where people can find them online, but just give us, like, if you have an event coming up that people should go to, tell it right away and we'll get you going.
I don't have any events coming up soon, but I usually they always pop up to me. So you can always follow me on xcvg_12. That's my main account for Nat the Brat. And then I also have my In Your Dreams business. And that's my snacks page.
Snacks.
Snacks, all the anime characters, snacks that you can think of. I have all the snacks that you can think of.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Before you go, give me one anime that you're watching currently that you are telling everyone about.
My favorite one that's very, like, no one really pays attention to her, Agretsuko.
Oh, okay.
I love her so much. She's my favorite, and I feel like she's kind of like me because she can sing.
Yeah.
But no one knows.
No one knows. Under the radar.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes.
Awesome. Good job.
All right, so we have a little bit of a quiet-ish moment. I wouldn't say it's totally quiet right now.
I mean, we've had some good music going, so that's a good
have.
part.
These guys were great. Do you know who they are?
I don't.
I don't
Do
either.
you?
No.
Okay.
You guys are great, whoever you are.
I mean, they were playing some good Sublime covers, so that's good.
Yeah, they did a TLC. They did Waterfalls. It was a great job. So anyways, but it's not about them. They did a great job. It's time for them to move on. Time for you to take the spotlight, right? So
it's our time now.
Yeah, exactly. So who are you and what do you do?
So my name's Annette. On Instagram, I go by Annette, same as TikTok. And I am a stay-at-home mom, but I also do some brand ambassading. And I've recently started covering like brews, bites, and BAs. BAs being my brand ambassading.
Okay.
But I do like food around the valley. I do other small businesses around the valley. Like I've done some local shops.
Okay.
And
nice.
other than that, I cover like baseball games while I'm doing brand ambassading. I cover concerts. I just worked Luke Combs this past weekend.
Nice. So when you say cover, what do you mean? Like, what do you?
I was doing giveaways for the Luke Combs concert.
Okay,
So
nice.
I was actually with Miller Lite that day.
Yeah.
But I do a couple of alcohol brandings and also, like I said, local businesses. Like I've worked here before with
Phoenix Beer Co.
Yeah, Phoenix Beer Co.
Nice.
We just recently went to the Scottsdale location, which was new and it was fun for us.
It's a beautiful place.
And other than that, I've done, like, for example, a lot of coffee, a lot of brews other than like tea, beers, cocktails.
Yeah. Beverages. You like beverages.
Beverages and also bites because you have to eat something while you're drinking. You can't just drink.
I am with you. Do you see the name of our magazine? A Taste of AZ, Food and Drink Stories. Yeah.
I grabbed one already, so we have one to go.
Nice. Awesome. Very cool. So what have you experienced through this journey, right? Like what are some of your favorite things, like spots? Do you have any recommendations? And I know it's hard, right? Because when you're a brand ambassador, like, it's hard to name some, but who are some of your favorites?
I will still give my honest opinion just because I'm not going to promote something that I don't like. So there's that. But one of my recent favorite places has been Clay Pot in Mesa. It's in Dobson. It is really good. I've already gone back for their lunch menu.
Nice.
But everything from their appetizers to like their food in general is very good. Even their tea. They have a really good lemon tea.
What is it? What's the style?
So it's Asian food.
Okay,
and
nice.
Clay pot is a form of cooking that they do. So they cook it all in one pot. It takes about 20 minutes to make, but it's made without oils and very organic. It's very good.
Ooh, I dig
Check
that.
it out if you haven't.
That's on my list now. Yeah. I like unique things like that, right? I always wonder, like, what is the difference between the thing that was cooked in this versus this?
Yes.
To me, it's way better because even if it's just the story, just the aspect of it, the extra care that they put into it, right?
Yes, it's also family owned and operated, so that's always a plus.
I love it.
Everything's made with love, and all of the bread is cooked there daily, so it's made fresh.
Yeah, nice. Clay pot in Mesa.
Yes.
Okay.
Clay
All right.
pot.
Excellent.
Clay pot kitchen.
Nice. What about drinks? Like, what are some of your, like? You have a favorite brewery?
As far as drinks, I've actually been coming here to AZ Beer Co. since I turned 21.
Okay,
so
nice.
I'm familiar with it for years, even before it became with the current owners, which Mike is also very great. He's a great host.
Yeah.
The food in Scottsdale is amazing. Again, we've gone back there already too. Their wings and their brisket burgers are amazing.
Yeah, I love the pizza. Is it Detroit style, I think they call it? Yeah. And then the Scottsdale location, like sitting on that patio on the water. It's
beautiful.
Yeah, not many places in the valley where you can sit waterfront, right?
I'll have to try the pizza next time, but for sure I like the brisket burger, and I also like getting myself an IPA or if not a tequila cocktail because I'm a tequila girl.
Okay, nice. A lot of good tequilas in Arizona and a lot more that are coming. So I don't know if you've seen, there's a guy. Hey guys, Abel from Compa Spirits. I don't know if you've ever.
Not.
No, he's got an ASU shirt on. Okay. He's just walking around. He's a friend of mine.
Okay,
but he distributes tequila, mezcal, and Mexican wine in the region in
I'll have
Arizona.
to introduce myself.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a tequila girl. That's always going to be my preference for drinks.
Yeah, it's a good. I call it nature's Red Bull, right? It gives you a little bit of kick, right? You're like, I'm feeling a little tired after dinner. I need some tequila, right? And
a
there's
little pick me up.
Yeah, exactly. So, what's your goal with all of this? Like, do you have like a big vision of where you want to go with your content?
My goal is to keep on working with local companies, showcase the spots that we have to show in Arizona that you can't find in other states.
Yeah,
that's mainly my goal. And continue to grow. So far, everything's been good. I just hope it gets better from here.
Yeah, nice. So you personally then, I'm asking everybody this, how do you 602?
How do I 602? Well, I don't only 602, I also 480 because I'm actually on the east side.
Okay.
I go around everywhere. I know some spots in every region, so I try to stay covered all of Phoenix, Mesa, Chandler, Scottsdale.
The whole valley.
The whole valley.
Yeah.
I've lived here for years, and there's so many amazing places that we have around the whole valley.
Yeah.
So I love being able to show people the spots that I like to eat at, spots that I like to drink at.
Yeah.
And it's always a plus if it's like something that's like a mom and pop shop versus, a chain that you can find anywhere else.
For sure. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, we do a food and beverage magazine, and there are some chains, right? Some of the local chains or regional chains that are pretty good, right? Like there are. Like I'll say it, and I know I get a lot of shit for this sometimes, but I think the Blanco nachos are the best nachos I've ever had. They're like, Blanco, and I'm like, they're legit. Fox restaurants are great restaurants, I think. So anyways, those are
my
my
husband
tangents.
and I always try to try something new when it comes to Arizona Restaurant Week.
Okay.
So have you done that before?
I have not, no.
So they do it twice a year. They do it in spring and they also do it in fall. A lot of the restaurants around the valley will do like a 3-course meal.
Yeah.
They'll either do like a single person or if not a couple deal that they have, and you'll get to try some of their food for
a little tasting, like
a little more bang for your buck.
Yeah. I like it. Well, thank you again for jumping on the mic.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what is the Instagram handle, Instagram and TikTok?
My Instagram and TikTok are Anetti. It's UH_NETTY.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for joining. And
you
your
so
friend,
much.
thank you for.
We got a little BTS moment back here.
Yeah, but you guys. So thank you for asking to come on. I was glad. I love having guests like you. So. Hope you enjoyed yourself.
She encouraged me, but it's
she
my
did.
best friend. What are best friends for?
That's right. Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye.
So we're here with Taste of AZ with the man Eric.
So we're here. Look at this. Look, we're recording over here. You're recording right there. Hell yeah.
Love this.
So I've got another Eric on the mic.
Yes, sir.
Eric, welcome to the podcast, dude.
Thank you for having me out here. This is amazing, just to see you guys out here as well.
Yeah,
it's fun.
For sure. Well, and you guys are over there slinging some world-class gelato over there, dude.
Hey, it's hot out here, man. So
you were a lifesaver.
We got to stay cool somehow in Phoenix.
Yeah. Oh man, it's tough sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I tell myself this year I'm going to acclimate myself a little bit more to it.
I say that every time, but I just can't seem to grasp it.
No, it gets to a point where you're like, all right, F this, man. Like
basically that just means more ice cream, more Diamond bars. Stay
you're
cool.
Like you're counting the cash, man. Counting the cash. So, so a little quick, what do you, your Poppin' T-Bar?
Yep. So Poppin' T-Bar.
What is that?
We've been in the valley for this is our 7th year.
Okay.
So
nice.
we started off with the concept of bringing some unique treats to the valley, right?
Yeah.
Popsicles and tea. That was kind of like our main focus.
Nice.
And then from there, we just kind of like just got acclimated to the community and tried different things from like local vendors and just trying to see what we can create in terms of like products and stuff to just, you know, stay cool out here.
Sure.
So
be cool and stay cool.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah, definitely.
So meaning like, so you were saying like your guests were kind of like your test subjects in a way of like, you had when you have a good following, you can utilize them like that. Like, hey,
most definitely.
We want to try some stuff. What do you guys really think? Like,
Definitely.
this tastes like crap, man.
So like, just like how you guys are, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's like Taste of AZ, right? So we were trying to think like, if someone were to come to Arizona, what can we bring to this, you know, beautiful state that's unique? That will make them remember Arizona.
For sure.
Right. So it came to like, we love art, we love design, and we love food and desserts.
Yeah.
Sweets specifically.
For sure.
So we're like, okay, let's take all of that together and let's combine it and see what we can create.
Yeah.
And that's how the Diamond Bars were born. You know, a little bit of art mixed with our love of dessert.
Yeah.
The teas mixing with like local ingredients, you know, and just like, I just want people to feel like, oh, this is something unique.
For sure.
You know, for coming here in Arizona.
Dude, so I went. My daughter was super stoked when she saw. She's like, "There's ice cream here."
Yeah,
I'm like, She's like, "It's actually gelato," and she knows I love gelato. So she went over and she got the cookies and cream, and she ate most of it, and there's a little bit left, and so I ate it. I'm like, shit, I got to get my own. But I've heard 3 or 4 people talking about the Diamond Bar. Like they were like, dude, what is that? So what is the Diamond Bar?
So essentially, it's our take on the classic popsicle. You know, we love nostalgia, right? When you're a kid, you enjoy these popsicles on a hot summer day.
Yep.
Right?
Melting on your hands.
Yeah,
sticky
but for
fingers.
us, it's like, let's elevate that in our way.
Yeah.
So we love art. We started playing with these like geometric shapes, and it just happened to work out where when you bite it, it bites off in chunks. It doesn't melt off in your hands and crumble.
Okay. Wow.
So it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's new thing, and everyone wants to look good with something what they're holding, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's a drink or an object or fashion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it kind of complemented the people.
Yeah.
And that was like our main focus.
Dude, that's super cool. Like no one, that's one of those things I don't think, especially with like popsicles, no one adds that depth to it, right?
Most definitely.
Like freeze it and then put it on a stick and then you eat it.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
And what made it harder was we like the texture of gelato and sorbet.
Yeah.
If you don't know, it's a lot softer, richer in flavor.
Yeah.
If you do like a normal ice pop, it's hard, rock solid.
Yeah.
So we did this process called blast freezing, where it keeps the shape, but when you bite into it, right, it's still soft.
Yeah.
And it still has that consistency of gelato.
Now I'm regretting. I wish I would have got the cookies and cream. Actually, I'm glad
we got
I
a lot
the
more,
cookies
so
and
don't worry.
All right, the Diamond Bar's next. Yeah. My daughter will not be disappointed. She's like, shit, another dessert?
Dude,
All right.
most definitely. We got all the flavors.
Dude, I love it, man. So where are you guys located?
So we're right off 10 minutes from here.
Okay.
7th Avenue in McDowell, right at the My Flores Plaza.
Okay.
So super close to downtown, Central Phoenix.
Yeah.
You know, awesome neighborhood around us and easy to get to.
One location?
One location right now, but
Looking to expand?
We hope to grow across the valley
Yeah.
soon and
Dude, nice.
just touch other areas. So
Yeah.
excited for that.
Dig it, man.
Yeah.
I dig it. Well, so first, where do they find you? Like as far as like you have a website, social media, all that stuff?
So we got the whole 9 yards. You can find us on Instagram at popandtbar.phx. You can hit up our website at www.popandtea.com, popnta.com.
We're gonna put that on the screen for you.
You got
I'm just
that.
kidding. Jose, make sure we put
I don't know if
that
this is
on.
going to be a video or not, but you
Yeah.
know, if it is, there you go.
We'll do the ball bouncing on the letters thing. Yeah.
You know, Facebook, we're all over there.
Yeah.
And, you know, you definitely easy to find us. You just look for the big My Flores sign.
Yeah.
And we're right there.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I dig it. I dig it. So for you personally, how do you use 602? Like in your time off, which was what, about 2 hours a week, right?
We're always busy, but we we try to find time to relax. That's for sure.
So how do you 602?
So for us, we're big foodies, right?
Okay.
It's just the nature of what we do.
Sure.
When I get time, I like to try new places, new restaurants, or just even try to go to different areas of Arizona.
Sure.
And just kind of experience what they have to offer. And maybe it's something that we can bring into the shop to influence a certain drink or a new item.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what I do in my free time.
Yeah.
You know. Just try to see what's new. There's always going to be something new.
For sure. Yeah.
You know, so
even if it brings up a new idea, right?
Yeah,
even if
definitely.
it's like, oh shit, what
or
if
it
we
doesn't even
did
have to be
this?
food. It could be like, let's go to a different music venue or something. You know.
Yeah.
See what the crowd is like over there.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different subcultures now in Phoenix that it's growing
for sure
that we can possibly tap into.
Yeah.
So
I dig it,
I
man.
love all that.
Yeah. Nice. So even when you're not working, you're working.
Yeah, we're always working, man. We're always working.
But that's also the dream.
But it's the passion, you know.
For sure.
It's we love to do it.
Yeah.
You know, like this, we love to network and just like meet other people in the industry or in other industries as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, it just like we get asked this a lot, and we just love what we do.
Yeah.
It might not be something we'll do forever, but for right now, we're loving it.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, it's the journey, right? It's all about the journey.
Yeah,
Right? Like you
definitely.
have goals along the way, but you hit one goal, and then you gotta have another goal.
Yeah.
And you just, you know.
And then
it's-
like on top of that, we like to travel a lot.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
maybe we go to like Mexico City or something. We get inspired for some of the flavors that we try out there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something we can incorporate over here.
Right.
So
I dig it.
There's
And
always
us-
something.
And us Phoenicians get the benefit from
Oh.
your explorations and go to Pop and T-Bar.
Yeah, we love to share it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it, man. I dig it. Well, Eric, thanks for jumping on the
Hey,
mics, man.
appreciate you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
everything here.
I'm gonna have to go get one of those diamond bars
Definitely
before we
talk
go. Oh
to you
shit,
soon.
we're getting close to the end.
Yeah, we are.
All right, man. Let me
Definitely
wrap this
stop
up.
by.
All right, man. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Dude, that's good.
You're already
Yes, sir.
rolling, man.
Oh,
You're already rolling.
hey. I'm sorry. I'll try not to be a camera whore and stare at it the whole time.
that was your audition right there, man. You were singing little Incubus.
Yeah.
Dude.
Me far. Sorry.
Dude, you're a natural on this stuff. Joseph?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
Dude, like so who I already introduced you as Joseph, but who are you? What do you do?
Yes, I'm the owner of Burning Buddha Clothing Company. It's a streetwear brand that I started here in Phoenix, Arizona, 6 years ago.
Okay.
2018. And
Yeah.
been getting lumps across my head and falling, stumbling, picking
Yeah.
myself up, along the way.
For sure, dude. That means you're doing the right things.
I guess so.
Right?
It hurts.
It does, man. But it is. It's as I'm along this journey, because about the same. You said 2018, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 2018. I quit my job to kind of pursue this thing full time. Was kind of, it was a side gig from like 2016 to 2018, but then 2018 took that leap. And dude, like, I mean, there are times I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And my wife's like, hey, this is what keeps people out. So, this is when people quit.
Yeah.
Are you going to quit at this moment? I'm
Oh.
like, well, hell no.
That's
No.
solid. I like
know.
that.
Yeah. So just to me, it's just persistence, man. Keep going. Like
Yes, sir.
you've been going at it. And the fact that when you get those lumps and you have those roadblocks and the shit just blows up, it means that you're taking the risks, right?
Yes,
You're
sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
So much love to that, man.
Heck yeah. Appreciate it, brother.
So what caused the fire to start to do this? Like,
Oh, man.
why'd you want to do this?
Oh, interesting choice of words. So actually, I'll try to give you the short, condensed version. So Burning Buddha Clothing, when I was a kid, I saw an image of a monk, knew nothing about it, but he was on fire. And I was like, it's crazy. That guy died. And then I was like, holy smokes, he killed himself.
Yeah.
So that image just stuck in my head as a kid and growing up. I always thought about it. So I was at like literally the lowest point in my life around 2016, just left a marriage of 12 years, had all kind of other stuff occur. And I was just like, I didn't know who I was, what I was doing, where I was at. I mean, I was here in Phoenix, but I just was trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So I was sitting on my couch one day, just in the middle of it all. And I was like, if I ever started a clothing brand, that's how random my brain is. The lowest point in my life. And I'm like, if I ever start a clothing brand.
T-shirts.
Right.
That's what it is.
I had thought about that image and I was like, man. So I looked it up and learned the history behind it and everything. And this guy, his people were being oppressed, and to sum it up, we're being oppressed, and he's like, I need to get the world's attention. I need to get outsiders to come and help. So he decided, in the middle of Saigon, I'm gonna light myself on fire and boom, and really his actions is what led to a change in what was going on, the oppression that was going on.
Dang, okay.
Because that photo made its way to the desk of John F. Kennedy. And, John F. Kennedy was quoted as saying that's like, at that time, one of the most important or most, I don't want to say popular, impactful images in the world.
Yeah.
And so that just, it stuck with me. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to create a clothing line and I want to name it Burning Buddha Clothing. And I thought about my brand motto, which is Ignite Your Passion. And, pretty much is just this guy died in a passionate way, But I'm like, we need to figure out a way to live in a passionate way.
I like that.
So, that's ignite your passion is the motto. And it's like, you might not know where you are, you might not know what you're doing, but, just burn, fervently and red hot and work in everything you're doing. And then eventually you'll find that passion if you already don't know what it is. And, just live for a reason and a purpose. So that's the whole idea behind the brand.
Dude, I dig that. That is right? It's just because it gets frustrating along the way. Like, what should I do here? Where honestly, obviously the decisions are important, but it's just a matter of make a decision, go with it, adjust if you need to.
Yes.
So now I see why you said it was an interesting choice of words. You're like, okay, actually.
Right.
Yeah. And I didn't even think of burning. Like, what's igniting this fire? I'm like, burning boots. Shit, man. I was set up for the whole thing. I'm going to make sure.
All right, we're good.
See, this is the joys of one of the on location episodes. Like, we're not as polished. This is more off the cuff. This is me falling and bumping my head.
Right, babe. But you knew what to do in this situation.
Yeah.
And the thing is, too, I don't know if the viewers realize, I know you have a partner that you do your podcast with.
Yeah.
But this is a one-man operation today.
Well, thank you for appreciating that.
There's a lot that goes into that.
I've got like a little thing on my foot. I'm ringing a bell and I'm doing this. And
Exactly. He's a very talented man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Well, you do. Well, so we'll get into your podcast because you do content as well.
Yes, sir.
But let's wrap up the Burning Buddha. Where do people find your stuff? Like, what is like the style? Tell me a little bit more about like the apparel itself.
Absolutely. So I'd like to say that Burning Buddha Clothing is a brand for spiritual gangsters and dope souls.
Yeah.
You can find my merchandise on my website, burningbuddhaclothing.com.
Nice.
And like I said, it's pretty much a streetwear brand. The concepts and everything, like I said, my brain's always scattered. I'm a creative person. I've been in video production for over 20 years.
Nice.
I mess around with, graphic design and pretty much anything where I could be creative, which is, kind of, I guess I got ADD or something like that. I don't know.
It's like a curse a little bit. Like, can't I just be not creative and just do something,
Yeah, so I've always got to be doing something. And, so when people are like, what's your inspirations and everything? Yeah, there's the whole idea behind where I started the brand, but realistically, sometimes I'm just, vacuuming and then I'm like, hey, I got an idea. And, or I might see something or I might have a phrase go through my head. So with the Phoenix shirt that I'm wearing, I think I did this maybe about 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
And I was never really proud. I was raised out here. I was never really proud to be a Phoenician or to appreciate Phoenix and the diverse culture and everything we have. Until I left, I went into the Marines right after high school, and I went to North Carolina, and I was like, Phoenix isn't looking that bad now. So I came to appreciate it. And so with the concept of this shirt, I wanted something where, Phoenicians could be proud and wear it, but I also wanted to put some icons and things that growing up, some nostalgia things. So we got the Enchanted Island from Encanto Park, and we got Lolo's Chicken and Waffles, lowriders, because there's a prevalent scene of the lowrider culture.
There was a lowrider here today.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to incorporate all that in design as well. So realistically, that's kind of what I do with my brand and my designs is whatever pops in my head.
Yeah,
I go with it.
Nice, man. Dude, trust your instincts, right?
Right. They say there's somebody out there to like everything, but I don't know. I think I'm testing that with some of my designs. I'm like, I'm the only one that like it. Like I'll tell you, I have a design. Nirvana. They had the so their album cover, which was the smiley face, the iconic one. It looks like somebody doodled it. I recreated that as a design, but I put Seeking above the Nirvana.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is sick. It's gonna sell out. Yeah, a couple people bought that. And I've had that. That was probably like my third design back in like 2017.
Yeah. That's humbling. Like, dude, this is it.
Right.
This is that moment I've been waiting
and
for.
And to this day, it's one of my favorite shirts.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't care if y'all don't buy it up.
You know what? So maybe there's a time, like you wear that thing and maybe one time, like just you find the right person and the right place. And like, dude, that's badass. Right. And it ends up being like, I can't even name a famous fashion person.
Right.
It's a famous fashion person.
Oh, I'll tell you a little secret between me and you. Nobody else is going to hear this.
Let me pause this.
I know nothing about fashion, brother. Like, seriously, a lot of people, they're like, oh, you have a clothing line, you have a brand. They're like, do you know this? Do you know that? Do you know Off-White? I had no idea. And I'm just like, nah, I just jumped into this. Again, going back to that, my mind goes everywhere. But it's definitely been an adventure, and I'm enjoying it because it's allowing me to be creative, and I get the opportunity to meet awesome people like you and everybody else that was in attendance today.
Dude, I dig it, man. I dig it. So tell me about the content you do. Like, you do a podcast, right?
Yes, so I'll tell you, I'll try to be as quick as possible. So, of course, in trying to build a brand and get more awareness, I jumped on Local Buzz with Tony, and, that gets me exposure. And like I said, I have over 20 years in video production experience. I was like, why don't I go back to that well? Because I used to be a YouTuber back in the day before everybody became YouTubers.
Yeah. OG.
And, 2010, 2011-ish. And that got some traction, but eventually I moved on to other things. But so I was like, why don't we go back to what we know? So I created a show. It's called Burning Buddha Outside. I go around with those little cheap, handheld lavalier mics, and I ask people questions. And if they, answer a certain amount of questions correctly, they win a Burning Buddha shirt. So clip that up. I put that on the internet. Also have Phoenix on the Rise, and that's where, kind of like what you're doing here, I meet interesting people, in my everyday happenings, and I'm like, oh, that dude's got a cool story.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, hey, bro, let's sit down and get the camera out and chat, kind of like this. It's literally like this.
Yeah.
A mobile setup, and I say, pick a place that's comfortable to you, and I'll meet you there, and we just sit and chat.
Dude.
So that's my Phoenix on the Rise show. And then I shot my first episode, I think, a month or two ago. I don't know if you know what boiler rooms are. Well, there's a few different boiler rooms, but the one I'm talking about, it's a cool concept, and I saw it years ago, and I was like, I always want to attend one. And finally, I was like, let's just create my own. So pretty much a boiler room is where they get a DJ or a group of DJs, and they have them set up. They live stream it, but instead of the DJ playing to an audience, the audience is behind the DJ. So the camera's looking at them, and it's just a bunch of people that love music, vibing out, having a good time while the DJ's playing.
Yeah.
So I started burning. I started my own boiler room called Burning Buddha Fire Sessions.
Yeah.
So I theme it. The first theme was house, so I had 4 house DJs, gave them 30 minutes each. We live streamed it, brought in some people that love house music, and we just vibed out. I got a little too drunk in the first episode. Didn't even close. Didn't even close the show out. The DJ, I'm outside talking to people. DJ's like, "Hey, bro, that's a wrap. We're good." We shut everything down. I was like, "Oh my god!" But hey, it was fun. It was a success. I just know going into the next one, chill on the Fireball, bro. Yeah,
I'm gonna go down easy though, man.
It does, and it tastes so good. Everybody's like, Fireball, that's college years, and I'm like, that's me today.
That's you rediscover your college years after several years being a real adult. You're like, dude, this reminds me of college. Yeah,
I've never stopped the Fireball.
Keep that fire burning, man. I dig a lot of fire theme with you. Dude, so.
I used to be a pyro too, so
okay. My daughter's been she's really interested in matches lately. So.
Let's do it in a safe way.
Oh, yeah. We're going to go in a big open parking lot. Yeah. But, dude, thanks for jumping on the mics. Man, it's been great to meet you. We just met for the first time. Friday.
2 days ago.
Yeah. So much love to Local Buzz for getting us together and putting amazing people together, and Phoenix Beer Co. for hosting this
Heck
thing.
yes. Yeah. This is awesome, and it was awesome meeting you, brother.
Dude, you too, man. We'll be in touch. We'll do some fun shit.
Heck yeah. I want to eat with you, brother.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I think we could do some damage, my friend.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe close down a couple places.
All right, dude. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. It looks like we're wrapping this thing up.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It was a hell of a turnout, right?
Yeah, there was a point when it was like hard to walk around here.
Yeah. Well, then I think they had a tour. Did they have a brewery tour come through?
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. It was, I guess, like somebody paid for a ticket to walk to 3 different breweries and do like a beer tasting.
Yeah. Hey, man, more people, more exposure for the brands, I guess, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, dude, so thanks for jumping on the mic.
Yeah, man, this is cool. I haven't done this in a while. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Well, thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Man. Hey, thank you guys for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So who are you and what do you do?
I'm Spock. I'm a graffiti artist / pinstriper and designer.
Okay.
Yeah, from
nice.
Phoenix, Arizona, South Phoenix.
Yeah, excellent, dude. I've seen some of your work. It's fantastic. You do great work, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How do you get into a line of work like that?
It was weird. When I was in high school, I used to paint, murals for local businesses, and in exchange, like basically I would paint their signs, and in exchange they would give me a back wall to do whatever I wanted to do, right?
Ah, okay.
So by doing that for so long, eventually I was like, well, I gotta get some sort of money out of this, you know?
Yeah.
So then I started charging, and just kind of grew from there. I met the right people. I ended up meeting my mentor. My mentor was a pinstriper, so he taught me how to pinstripe.
Okay.
And I learned about sign painting through pinstriping because they kind of go hand in hand.
Okay.
It's the same paint that they use for pinstriping. It's the same paint that they use for pinstriping is the paint they use for sign painting.
Gotcha.
So he was just kind of like, you know what, you're learning a lot. You're getting good at your pinstriping, but your letters stand out a lot more. How about you start trying to become a sign painter instead of pinstriping?
Yeah.
And I didn't know what that even was.
Yeah.
I was painting signs for people with aerosol, not the proper way.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So that's kind of like where it all started. He started teaching me, and I grew from there.
Yeah. How long ago was that? Like, how long you been doing this?
I've been doing it for about 12 years now. The actual sign painting and pinstriping. But as far as art goes, I've been drawing letters since I was in 4th grade. I was about 10 years old or something. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but my obsession for letters, I think, started, at a young age.
Yeah.
And it just got worse and worse. I just got addicted to it.
You couldn't stop.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is I kept learning things. So I ended up learning that, there's such thing as typography. And that's like another study of letters, just in a different way,
Yeah.
So I started studying it and realized I'm never going to get anywhere if I don't go to school or get some sort of mentor that already does it.
Yeah.
So I decided to go back to school, and I started studying graphic design. But then that was a whole other monster, because then I started learning about, kerning and like letterpress stuff, and it just never stopped. So the more I learned, the more I realized that I really didn't know anything, So
yeah.
So here I am.
Well, they say you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh shit, I didn't know a lot.
Yeah.
But that's to me, I think that's a great thing. My daughter came to help me today. She's 12, and she's at that age where you got to kind of like you don't know everything. I think you do, right? Because there are certain times in your life where you think you know everything. Right?
Oh yeah.
Parents are idiots. What do they know, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then you start to get humble, and you're like, whoa. But when that can be a positive experience, right? When it can feed into, add to the value of what you're working on, right? So, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. I love it, man. I mean, I love what I do. And of course, I'm an artist. So that whole thing with the whole starving artist, what they say about artists, I learned it at a, very young age because I've been doing this for so long. But, I didn't realize how bad it could get when it's bad. You know? So you have your lows and you have your highs, and you got to ride those highs for as long as possible and know how to save money.
Yeah.
Because when those lows come, man, it's tough. Like, somebody like me, for the longest, like I didn't have insurance. It's not a regular job.
Sure.
You're your own boss. So you have to figure out how to do paperwork,
Yeah.
And
you don't want to do paperwork.
No, man,
Yeah.
I've been an artist my whole life. So
Yeah.
I've never really been into the paperwork part of it,
You did art, so you didn't have to do paperwork, right?
Yeah. But it
you have
turns
to.
out you have to.
You got to. Yeah. Or you got to get to a point. You have to do it. What I've started to learn is you have to do it to a certain point, right? Then when you start to grow, you can start to outsource those things, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm at a point right now where, for the last few years, I started learning about the whole outsourcing, and even with design work, like people hire me for my ideas and for the style that I create, right? Well, my styles have varied a lot.
Okay.
So now when somebody hires me, I make sure and I sit down and I figure out what they want, because they might have seen something I did 5 years ago.
Yeah.
What I do now is nothing like what I did 5 years ago. So if that's what they're looking for and I'm no longer doing anything like that, I have people that do it. So now I just, give them my quotes, give them, my contract, and it's like, this is what it's going to cost. And then I contact my buddy that is kind of new at it and now is doing what I was doing, 5 years ago, that I know can pull off that job, and I hire him to do that job. And it's kind of like I'm learning how to become a boss,
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool, And I never looked at it in that way growing up, but now I think I'm just reaching a point where I get so much work that one person can't do it. So
Sure.
I need a team, so I have friends that do similar to what I do, and I hire them out to do whatever jobs I either can't do anymore or they're just, jobs I don't want to take on, and,
Sure.
and I know they need them or they want them.
They're appreciative of it.
Yeah, they love it. Yeah, because some of these jobs are working for big clients that are going to get them more work in the future. So
for sure,
it's pretty cool. But either way, as cool as it sounds, you still get those. Like summer is usually my downtime.
Sure.
Because I don't want to be painting no murals right now. I don't want to be outside. So I turn down a lot of work, or I push it till when the weather gets better. And a lot of times those people don't want to wait. So summer is definitely tough. So I got to learn to work really hard in the winter and stack money, and then that way in the summer it's a little bit easier to relax and not worry so much,
For sure. I dig it, man. I dig it. Well, I think we're wrapping this thing up. Spock, thanks for joining, man. Where do people find you? Website, social media?
Yeah, it's all under just Spock, SPAWK. So if you go on social media and you type in SPAWK, it should pop up. You go on the internet or on Google and you type in SPAWK, it should pop up. Just as long as it's not Leonard Nimoy, the Star Trek guy.
Yeah, but that's an O, right?
Yeah,
that's
then it's probably me. If it's not Leonard Nimoy, then it's probably me, But
I love it, dude.
Even though you spell it different, like he'll still pop up.
They're like, don't you mean Spock?
Yeah.
No, I mean Spock, like the legend.
Did you mean?
Yeah. Did you mean? Well, dude, keep up the good work. I'm asking everybody, how do you 602?
I try to stay as hydrated as possible and as creative as possible.
I like that. Dude, that was a creative answer, too. People are like, I go to this restaurant, I do this. You're like, that's how I 602.
Yeah.
I stay hydrated because you will die in this desert without it.
Yeah, I don't want my skin to get more wrinkles, dry out and crack.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know how old you are, but I assume we're around the same age. We're aging, man. I'm 45.
Actually just a beat up 20.
I was like, shit, okay, yeah. Well, I'm 22 then, if that's the case. But no, Spock, thanks for joining. Dude, it was great meeting you through this whole thing.
Yeah,
Shout out to
man.
Tony at Local Buzz and Paulin and Phoenix Beer Co. for hosting us. So
yeah, shout out to everybody. Shout out to you and what you're doing with your magazine.
Thank you.
I love it. I'm going to have to take a few copies.
Please do. Yeah.
I want to see what I got to do to get in there. If I have to start making chimichangas or something,
I'm a huge fan of chimichangas, dude. That's the way to my heart for sure.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Spock.
All right.
Have a good day, man.
Thank you, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And last, but definitely not least, what's up, buddy?
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Had so much fun.
Yeah, this turned out really great. Really did. There you go. That way you can block out that. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Marshall, the legend. You are legendary. You are legendary. Your laugh is a little bit, it's very humble, but it's also kind of like, you're like, I know a little bit. I know.
I know a few things. And that was the fun of doing that here, was
Yeah.
getting to share some of that history and some stories about Arizona and why it's such a cool place.
For sure.
There we go.
There it is.
Much.
All right.
There we go. Much
no,
better.
No offense to Spock, but he was a little shorter than you.
And yes.
So who are you and what do you do?
So my name is Marshall Shore. I go as the hip historian. And so basically I just go out and find stories about Arizona and share how I fell in love with Arizona by sharing those stories around. I was just recently in Bisbee, up in Flagstaff, so doing it kind of all over the state. Because what an amazing place we live in.
Yeah, really do. Really, I moved here from Ohio in 07. This is just, and I've been to I'm not a world traveler. I've been around the country a little bit. I've been to some fun cities, but Arizona just sticks out to me. There's just something special, and there's something special about the people, and it's a great combo of outdoors, sunshine, great food and drinks, which I'm obviously obsessed with.
Right, I'm a sucker for some good food and some good cocktails.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So where are you from originally?
So grew up in Indiana,
Okay.
not far from where you are,
Yeah.
in a tiny little farm town in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
Actually 25 people.
Okay. Wow.
2 roads, 1 stop sign.
Yeah.
And
Not even
so,
a stop light.
No.
A stop sign.
We had 1 stop sign. And so early age could realize, my goal was to get out.
Yeah.
And so got myself through college, got a master's degree in library science, moved to New York City as a librarian.
Okay.
So worked in Brooklyn and New York public libraries, kind of bouncing back and forth, but getting to visit all those boroughs and all that amazing food.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes it library science like that
exactly. So I'm really doing a lot of the same stuff I was doing in libraries, but now I get to do it with no one saying you shouldn't do that or you shouldn't do this. I get to do whatever I want.
You get to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that you have a voice in your head sometimes like you shouldn't do that. Like, shut up.
Right. I'm going to do this and we're going to make this work.
Yeah. Well, dude, the food in New York City I've heard is incredible. I've been to New York City once. Didn't really experience the food culture much, but it's one of those ones that's on my bucket list.
Well, and it's really those little mom and pop places. And so like coming to Arizona, it's like there's tons of mom and pop places.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go to chains, but one of the things I love is we actually did a walking tour of global cuisine.
Okay.
Starting
nice.
at so what has now been renamed recently by the city of Phoenix as the International District. So that corner of 19th Avenue and Camelback.
Okay.
Because you have Vietnamese, Ethiopian, Salvadoran, Middle Eastern. There's a Vietnamese market. You've got a South American market. And so you can visit with all these in a short walk.
Yeah.
And so we were talking to the owners about the community they're developing. Like the Ethiopian place is a husband and wife. He was driving a cab going, my wife is a good cook. I should do something with this.
Yeah.
So they started a restaurant with only a few things on the menu so they control the quality.
Sure.
And as their audience grew, they added more things to the menu.
Yeah. That's
so
cool.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, that's the dream, right? Like that's the heart and soul of food and beverage.
Right.
Really
and
is.
so for me, it was like people said, you should do a food tour. And I'm like, people are already doing food tours to amazing places like F&B. I was like, what else is there? And I was like, those unsung heroes, that global cuisine.
Yeah.
That is hard to find. The good ones versus the mediocre versus, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
that's been the fun of it, is really trying to put that together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're even kind of at the mercy of, or I don't even know if that's the right verbiage, but the ones that kind of have the biggest kind of, I guess, full package, right? They've got the branding, they've got the cool this, they've got this, they've got the social media, great food photos, right? Like those tend to get the hype, right? And but the mom and pop places, a husband and wife that are running something, and that's to me, there's just something special about.
Well, and
that,
it's like
for
you're
sure.
sitting in their living room. I mean, it's like it's like at First Cup when they do the coffee ceremony, where they basically roast the coffee in front of you. It fills the entire restaurant with this smell of roasting coffee.
Yeah.
And so it's about the experience.
Yeah.
And so that's what I love about those mom and pop places is, I mean, you really can taste the love in all the food.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And they care. They really care.
Right.
Like, and I dig it. So I've got so many questions for you of knowing about you for the last few years. I did this thing several years ago. It was an organization called like House of Genius or something like that. And I was recommended to present to them. It was actually really cool. Megan Greenwood from Greenwood Brewing recommended me. She's like, hey, I'd love for you to come in. It's basically a bunch of, really highly successful people that give feedback to entrepreneurs. So you're able to present what you do and then they give you feedback, right? So at this point, I hadn't done, we weren't doing the magazine. We hadn't done the book. I just had a beer podcast. So I was like getting feedback, like, what can I do with this? And 2 or 3 people brought your name up. So that was the first time that you need to connect with Marshall, the hip historian. And I never did because, I mean, I'm fumbling trying to, hit all the shit that
Right.
But I'm glad that the universe brought us back together, man.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
I mean, with cocktails, I mean, it's like, during COVID, started doing Arizona History Happy Hour. At that point was weekly.
Yeah.
It's now monthly, every third Thursday. And so I work with PJ Vader Barron, who now is at the Renaissance.
Okay.
But he's been all over in food and beverage. And so he creates a cocktail every happy hour.
Yeah.
So now we're actually going down to Melinda's Alley, filming him making it, and then getting to taste it. So
nice. We need to connect soon.
And so, I mean, and I'm always bringing him stuff. I'm like, hey, PJ, I found this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the best thing I brought him recently from Taiwan, smoked plum juice.
Ooh, interesting.
And so you can get it here at the market at Ranch 99.
Okay.
And so I gave it to him, and he's like, oh, that's really good. Can I get more of it? Because we want to do a cocktail next weekend with it.
Yeah.
And so.
Smoked plum juice.
Oh, and you can just a little bit on your tongue, and you're like, this is made for a cocktail.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so.
Whew, man, gonna have to pick your brain. I feel like you're gonna yeah.
and I love some good food. I mean, it's like I was recently in Bisbee, able to have dinner with Rod and Sally at Cafe Roca, which is one of the best restaurants, and then hightailed it up to Flagstaff and was lucky enough to dine at Shift.
You were telling me about that.
Yeah, where the chef was part of the James Beard kind of an Emerging Chefs Award. And wow.
Yeah. I've heard they're doing incredible things up there.
One thing I didn't try that I would go back and try, pickled French fries.
Pickled French fries?
Yeah. So they soak the potatoes in pickle juice for quite a while and then do a variety of things to them and then deep fry them.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. The couple next to me said, "Oh, it's amazing." But I've already had like a full plate. I'm like, okay, it's like
you gotta have your limit.
Right. Yeah. Dessert's coming. So it's like, I don't have space for that.
Yeah. I love it, dude. I love it. Well, Marshall, thank you for jumping on. I know there's so much more we can
Oh, yeah.
we can
So
cover.
definitely, let's have a cocktail together at some point. I would love that.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
well, how do people find you? Like, you have a website?
So I do.
Media?
So hiphistorian.com is the easy way to find me.
Yeah.
All through June, I'm doing programs across the county on topics like Walt Disney in Arizona. We are doing signage history because we've got so many amazing signs that are being preserved here in Arizona. As well as LGBTQ history in Arizona.
Nice. Dude.
So a nice wide swath of Arizona stories.
Yeah, I dig it. So theHipHistorian.com?
Nope, just hiphistorian.com. Hiphistorian.com. I waited for years to get that. And I'm like, it finally came available. I'm like, okay, it's mine.
Yeah.
So
well, congratulations on that.
Indeed. So
well, awesome. Well, so I mean, I feel we can do a whole series on this, but how do you 602?
How do I 602? By sharing stories about this amazing place.
I love it. Boom. Done.
And
take that mic out and drop it.
Very
awesome.
good.
Marshall.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always a pleasure.
Let's get out of here, man. It's Sunday. It's hot.
Indeed.
Getting home.
All right.